Thank you for joining us. And Professor, now the election is expected in 30 days, if I'm not mistaken. It's said to be quite tough for the ruling coalition party. Can you elaborate on how tough will it be?
Tough for whom?
For the ruling coalition party.
It's going to be difficult because there's been a lot of scandals with regards to corruption. And these have been very high-profile exposés about corruption within the ruling party. So that's one issue. Another issue, of course, is the general unhappiness with the ruling coalition, not just with regards to corruption, but also with regards to how they are controlling the institutions of government, and also their lack of a stand on true racial and religious harmony.
Right, Professor, talking about the rest this time, will it be a challenge or a potential one for opposition Anwar Ibrahim's party?
Well, having said all that, it's going to be very, very difficult for the opposition party. We've got to understand that, for example, the media, the mass media, apart from the internet, newspapers and television are totally in the control of the government. So it's very hard for the opposition to get their message across to the majority of Malaysians. So it's not going to be easy for them. And on top of that, recently we've been seeing very bad behavior on the part of the supporters of the government. They've been attacking opposition rallies. They've been using, violence and threatening methods to try to undermine the opposition's attempts at reaching the people.
Right. Now, with that said, regarding to the scandals that's within the ruling party, you said it's tough for them, and it is quite tough for the opposition as well in terms of passing out their message. How much chance will that leave for Anwar?
I'm going to be sitting on the fence here, and I think most people would probably agree that it's going to be a very close fight. It's probably going to be 50-50. But I think it's harder for the opposition because apart from all the things I've said earlier, we've also got to understand that over the years, the government has made sure that the constituencies are delineated in favor of them. So if they feel that an area is more in favor of themselves, you have constituencies with very few voters. So it's easier for the government to actually get the vote enough for seats in parliament than it is for the opposition.
Right, right. Professor, if we would like to carry on with another issue in point with the policies that are said to be important to win the votes, especially for the non-Malays, which earlier reports have said that these group of people plays a crucial portion for PM Najib. So what sort of important policies will grab the votes for the non-Malays?
Well, I think the most important one is that the opposition has very clearly said that they are not going to be focusing on affirmative action based on race. They have very clearly said that any help given to the poorer segments of the Malaysian community will be based on need and not on race. The government has not been able to say this. They have not said this at all. So that's one very, very important thing where it's clear that the opposition is more in line towards a Malaysia which is colorblind. Also, the opposition has promised changes in the institutions of government, which, we're talking about the judiciary, the Attorney General's chambers, the Election Commission. These are very, very important changes which need to take place because right now, the institutions of government are very much under the control of the executive. So I think these two things, on top of the promise that they will fight corruption very, very hard, I think these are going to be very important factors.
Right.
Well, thank you so much, Professor, for joining our program.
Kapun Kap, anytime.